Hello and welcome to Express News. I'm Gautam Roy. This is your one-stop shop to get your quick-fire updates. Let's begin. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora today announced dates for Bihar elections. The term of assembly in the state of Bihar is due to expire on the 29th of November 2020. Voting for Bihar Assembly elections will be held in three phases. First on the 28th of October, second on the 3rd of November, and the third on the 7th of November, while counting of all votes will take place on the 10th of November. While addressing the media, CEC said voting time will be extended by 1 hour and votes can be cast from 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening, except for the left-wing extremism affected areas. CC Sunil Arora also said that the Model Code of Conduct will come into force in the state from the announcement. The Commission has already made elaborate arrangements for ensuring the effective implementation of MCC guidelines. The Bihar Assembly has a strength of 243 members, of whom 38 seats are reserved for SCs and 2 for STs. The nation remembers Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay on his birth anniversary. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed BJP workers from across the country on the occasion of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay's birth anniversary. The PM said Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay's ideas would continue to inspire coming generations. He also said that the NDA government at the centre has taken a number of steps for the welfare of farmers. He said that through the 4 labour codes, efforts have been made to get workers out of the cycle of dozens of laws. The new laws are regarding their health, safety and convenience as well as salaries. Paying tribute to Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, BJP President JP Nadda said that Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay gave the country an alternative ideology through integral humanism. The BJP President said Raksha Mantri and Rajnath Singh and many other leaders paid tributes to Deen Dayal Upadhyay. Senior BJP leaders including Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, BJP National General Secretary Saroj Pandey, National Vice President Shyam Jaju and others paid floral tributes to Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay on his 104th birth anniversary. Antyodaya Divas was celebrated in honour of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay's 104th birth anniversary. An event themed Kaushal Se Kal Badlenge was organised. Addressing the event, Union Minister for Rural Development Narendra Singh Tomar said that he feels proud whenever he sees DDU GKY imprinted on workers' clothes. DDU GKY is a part of the National Rural Livelihood Mission, tasked with dual objective of adding diversity to the incomes of rural poor families and cater to the career aspirations of rural youth. Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay was born on the 25th of September 1916 in the Sikh region of Brij in the village of Nagla, Chandraban in Mathura district of Uttar Pradesh. His childhood was full of challenges. Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay was a multifaceted personality. He was a combination of skilled thinker, organizer, educationist, social worker, politician, moderator, writer, nritya and journalist. He entered politics through the RSS, became the General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Sangh and later its president. Veteran playback singer and actor S.P. Balasubramaniam has passed away. He was admitted to hospital on the 5th of August following symptoms of COVID-19. Balasubramaniam came to international prominence with the 1980 film Sankarabharam, directed by K. Vishwanath. He received his first National Film Award for Best Male Playback Singer for his work. He also received National Film Award for Best Male Playback Singer in his first Hindi film. President Ramnath Kovind has condoled the demise of Balasubramaniam. In a tweet, the President said, and I quote, "In the passing of a music legend S.P. Balasubramaniam, Indian music has lost one of its most melodious voices. Called Father Neela or Singing Moon, by his countless fans, he was honoured with Padma Bhushan and many national awards. Condolences to his family, friends and admirers." Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also condoled the demise of S.P. Balasubramaniam. In a tweet, the Vice President said, and I quote, "Shocked at the tragic demise of the legendary musician Sri S.P. Balasubramaniam. He leaves a void in the world of music that is virtually impossible to fill. His mellifluous voice, passionate love for languages and literature, and genial humor have left an indelible impact on millions of admirers, including me. It's a personal tragedy for me as we both belong to Nellore. My heartfelt condolences to his family. Om Shanti." Prime Minister Narendra Modi also condoled the demise of S.P. Balasubramaniam. In a tweet, the PM said, and I quote, "With the unfortunate demise of Sri S.P. Balasubramaniam, our cultural world is a lot poorer. A household name across India, his melodious voice and music enthralled audiences for decades. In his hour of grief, my thoughts are with his family and admirers. Om Shanti." Union and Minister Prakash Javadekar also expressed his heartfelt condolences at the passing away of music legend S.P. Balasubramaniam. With its focused strategies and effective coordinated and proactive measures, India is reporting steep increase in recoveries of COVID-19 cases. The recovery rate has reached 81.74%. The number of active cases stands at 9,70,116, 81,177 recovered in the last 24 hours. And with this, the total number of recoveries stands at 47,56,164. For the first time, close to 15 lakh COVID tests have been conducted in a single day. Exponential rise in total tests as they near 7 crore, India has scaled a historic peak in the fight against COVID-19. The last 1 crore tests were conducted in nearly 9 days. The test per million TPN stands at 49,948 as of today. States that are testing the highest number are also reporting a gradual decline in the positivity rate. The national cumulative positivity rate stands at 8.44% today. Snapping its 6-day falling streak, equity benchmark Sensex rallied 835 points on Friday to reclaim the 37,000 mark on across-the-board buying amid mixed global cues. The 30-share BSE Sensex ended 385.06 points or 2.28% higher at 37,388.66. NSE Nifty rose 244.7 points or 2.26% to finish at 11,050.25. The rupee strengthened by 28 paise to settle at 73.61 provisional against the US dollar on Friday. Gold prices rose by 324 rupees to 50,824 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital on Friday. Silver futures Friday dropped by 279 rupees to 59,350 rupees per kg on low demand. Crude oil prices on Friday rose by 11 rupees to 2,984 per barrel as participants widened their positions on firm spot demand. The government has extended the suspension of insolvency proceedings for any COVID-19 related default by a period of 3 months, effective from the 25th of September. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Court, that's the IBC, was suspended for a period of 6 months with effect from the 25th of March 2020 by the government, earlier to protect those experiencing financial distress on account of the pandemic. The Income Tax Department today launched faceless income tax appeals. Under faceless appeals, all income tax appeals will be finalized in a faceless manner under the faceless ecosystem, with the exception of appeals relating to serious frauds, major tax evasion, sensitive and search matters, international tax and Black Money Act. Prime Minister Modi held a telephonic conversation with His Excellency Suga Yoshihide, Prime Minister of Japan. The PM congratulated Prime Minister Suga on his appointment as the PM of Japan and wished him success in achieving his goals. The two leaders concurred that the partnership between the two countries is even more relevant in today's times given the global challenges, including that of COVID-19 pandemic. They emphasized that the economic architecture of a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region must be premised on resilient supply chains and, in this context, welcomed cooperation between India, Japan and other like-minded countries. Over 3.24 crore coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide, with more than 9.88 lakh deaths. As many as 2 crore 39 lakh people have recovered from the virus so far. The US continues to top the list, being the worst hit country by the pandemic so far, with the highest number of COVID-19 cases. The US has crossed the 71 lakh mark with over 71.87 COVID-19 cases, with deaths now crossing 2.07 lakh. In terms of the death toll, Brazil stands second on the tally with over 1.39 lakh deaths. There are more than 46.59 lakh cases of COVID-19 in the Latin American country. US President Donald Trump has signed 2 executive orders on healthcare for Americans. Trump signed the twin orders implementing his America First healthcare plan in North Carolina amid an audience that included medical professionals. One of the executive orders is aimed at ensuring Americans with pre-existing conditions retain healthcare coverage, while another order is aimed at eliminating surprise bills which occur when patients visit a hospital. Sweden's Prime Minister has warned to implement further restrictions to curb the spread of the coronavirus amid a rise in new cases. Speaking at a news conference in Stockholm, Prime Minister Stefan Löfven said Swedes had become too relaxed about heeding anti-COVID guidelines. Löfven warned that the crisis was not yet over and urged Swedes to stick to the public health guidelines. Unlike most countries, Sweden refrained from a mandatory national lockdown against the pandemic, instead calling for personal responsibility, social distancing and good hygiene to slow rather than eradicate the disease. Britain has reported the highest number of coronavirus cases in a single day with over 6,632 infections. Public Health England Medical Director Yvonne Doyle has said that the figure is a stark warning as infections rise across all age groups. In France, the Health Ministry has reported that the number of people in intensive care due to the coronavirus infection jumped over 1,000 for the first time since the 8th of June. The ministry also said that the number of people with COVID-19 in hospitals was up by 136 to 5,932. In Spain, cumulative tally of confirmed COVID-19 infections passed 7 lakh on Thursday. The number of confirmed cases has spiked since the end of a nationwide lockdown in late June, adding 2 lakh in less than a month, and now stands at 7,04,209, the highest in Western Europe. Germany's Charité Hospital and German Neurodegenerative Diseases Center has announced they had identified highly effective antibodies against the coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 and were now pursuing the development of a passive vaccine. Mexico is set to surpass 75,000 confirmed coronavirus deaths. Despite closing schools and offices 6 months ago, the Mexican government has struggled to contain the virus's spread. The confirmed coronavirus caseload rose to 7,15,457 along with a reported death toll of 75,439. US President Donald Trump will accept the results of the election if it is free and fair, according to a White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany. Amidst a raging controversy on the president not committing himself to a peaceful transition of power in the case of a defeat in the 3rd of November polls. McEnany also said that Trump will accept the results of a free and fair election. The US, China and Russia fought on Thursday during a United Nations Security Council meeting on the coronavirus pandemic after UN chief had warned the body that if the climate crisis was approached with the same disunity and disarray of COVID-19, then I fear the worst. In Argentina, wildfires are burning out of control in the hills and rural areas in the central province of CORDOBA. Drone footage showed fires advancing across the forests and dry brush of the region, leaving thick plumes of smoke rising in their wake. Firefighters worked feverishly to control the blazes, spraying water near homes, dropping water from helicopters and airplanes, and even setting controlled fires along the side of a highway in an attempt to prevent the spread of the blazes. According to local media, around 16,000 hectares have been burned in the province in recent days. Forecasters are hoping rain makes it to the region by the weekend. Scientists in Chile have unearthed the remains of one of the largest marine predators of the Jurassic period in the middle of the world's driest desert. According to University of Chile researchers, the fossils discovered by scientists there hail from 2 plesiosaur specimens, ancient ocean reptiles with a more powerful bite than Tyrannosaurus rex. Indigenous artist Vincent Namachira won Australia's most prestigious art prize on Friday, the first time an Aboriginal painter won the portraiture competition since its inception 99 years ago. He won for his portrait of indigenous footballer and community leader Adam Goods. In the middle of the Arctic Ocean, environmental activist and campaigner Mia Rose Craig stood with a cardboard sign reading "Youth Strike for Climate." Craig, also known as Bird Girl online, is one of the young generation of activists who have grown up in the looming shadow of climate breakdown and are tired of waiting for the grown-ups to solve the issue. The women of Egypt's Al Noor Wal Amal Orchestra have faced many challenges throughout the years, yet none like this year's global health crisis, with the coronavirus pandemic shutting their rehearsal space and the women forced to stay home. As the government continued to loosen coronavirus restrictions, on Sunday they held their first concert. Some extremely cute additions have arrived at Lima Zoo after the recent hatching of 2 penguin chicks and the birth of a baby alpaca. Petite penguins, who are just over a month old and spend most of their time under the watchful eye of their parents in the den. Hong Kong's Disneyland theme park reopened for the second time on Friday after closing in July when coronavirus cases spiked. Hundreds of visitors showed up at the park during the first hours after opening. Meanwhile, the park continued to implement some restrictions and health measures for visitors. Bayern Munich beat Sevilla 2-1 after extra time on Thursday to lift the UEFA Super Cup. Bayern completed a quadruple under coach Hansi Flick. Super Cup match was the first European game played with the fans in the stands since the sport returned amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Elated Bayern fans were satisfied with security measures and safety protocols like mask wearing and distance between seats inside the stadium. Hungary and UEFA will review the health impact of the Super Cup, Europe's first major game open to fans amid the COVID-19 pandemic, to see if international matches can be held safely. Holders Manchester City have made it to the 4th round of the League Cup. Phil Foden's goal, 15 minutes from time, helped City defeat Bournemouth 2-1. Liverpool powered into the 4th round of the EFL Cup with a 7-2 victory over Lincoln City. Liverpool will now face Arsenal in the next round. Aston Villa breezed past Bristol City into the 4th round of the EFL Cup. Villa has set up a 4th round tie with Stoke City next week. Tottenham had to ask for the goalposts to be changed ahead of their 3-1 win over Skedija on Thursday to reach the final round of Europa League qualifying. UEFA on Thursday announced that clubs will be allowed to make up for 5 substitutions per match in the Champions League and Europa League throughout 2020 and 21. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been tested positive of the coronavirus. Milan players underwent tests on Wednesday after one defender was found to be infected. Australia's planned historic maiden test against Afghanistan slated for Perth later this year has been postponed until next summer. Rafael Nadal, who is seeking a record-extending 13th French Open title, was handed a relatively tough draw. Top seed Novak Djokovic will face Swede Mikhail in the first round of the French Open. In a blockbuster clash, Swiss 16th seed and former champion Stan Wawrinka will take on Andy Murray in the first round itself. Serena Williams, hoping to win a record-equaling 24th Grand Slam singles title, will start her campaign against fellow American Christy Ahn. Serena was drawn in the same half as top seed Halep, and she faces a potential 4th round clash with US Open runner-up Victoria Azarenka. Top seed Simona Halep will open her campaign against Spaniard Sara Sorribes Tormo and could meet Kiki Bertens in the last 8. Second seed Stefanos Tsitsipas set up a quarterfinal match with Dusan Lajovic at the Hamburg Open on Thursday. The Greek beat Pablo Cuevas in the straight sets. Norway's Casper Ruud took out Fabio Fognini in the straight sets at Hamburg European Open on Thursday, beating the Italian 6-3, 6-3. Ruud will face Humbert in quarterfinals after the Frenchman beat Czech Jiri Vesely in their round of 16 match. Anirban Lahiri staged a superb fight-back with an early setback to shoot 3 under 69 in the first round of the Corales Putakana. India's Shubhankar Sharma dropped 4 bogeys in 7 holes on the back 9 to finish with a modest 2 over 72 at the Irish Open. The other Indian in the field, Gaganjeet Bhullar, playing his first event in more than 6 months, finished 5 over. David Tejero, a freestyle paraglider and athlete from Malaga, is the first athlete in the world to perform acrobatics and extreme maneuvers whilst combining 2 extreme sports, paragliding and wingsuit. The IOC Coordination Commission and the Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee agreed today on a series of measures to make the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 fit for a post-corona world. Tamanna Bhatia says she has been an ardent fan of National Award-winning actor Tabu and is happy to step into her shoes for the Telugu remake of Sriram Raghavan's Andhadhun. In the new movie, Tamanna Bhatia will feature opposite Nitin and Navinitesh, who are essaying the characters played by actors Ayushmann Khurrana and Radhika Apte. Former late-night show host David Letterman is coming back with the 3rd season of his interview series on Netflix on the 21st of October, the streaming OTT has announced. Hollywood star Ryan Gosling is teaming up with Hobbs & Shaw director David Leitch for a stuntman action drama. The plot details of the project are still unknown. Actor Olivia Munn is set to play the lead in Syrian refugee drama Aleppo. Brazilian filmmaker David Schurman will be helming the project. Universal Pictures has roped in actor Ice Cube to headline its upcoming sci-fi film. The Untitled movie will be directed by Rich Lee from a script by Kenneth Gold, reported Deadline. Amazon has started developing a spin-off series to its smash hit satirical superhero show The Boys. It's based on the New York Times best-selling comic by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. The original show is currently in its 2nd season. Amblin Television's upcoming series, inspired by Akira Kurosawa's 1950 masterpiece, Rashomon, has found a home at HBO Max. The project has been in development since 2018. It's not a remake of the classic movie, but will retain the key plot device. In the middle of a nepotism controversy, the premiere of the latest Man Singh film, Intezar Koi Aane Ka Hai, is all set to take over OTT platform. Actor Priyanka Singh and Man Singh are the leading actors in the film. The film Intezar Koi Aane Ka Hai is a horror movie that has a lot of suspense and at the same time lots of passion, intrigue, ambition and power struggles. And that's all you have for the moment in Express News, but the latest continues right here on DD India and DD News. Do stay tuned.